Alright, my big grill loving freaks, we are going to do the front brake pads now. And here are the tools we're going to need. Need a hammer, ratchet, pick, some kind of screwdriver to smack out the pins, a longer screwdriver just to try to align the pads, which we'll see later, 17 mil socket with a torque wrench, rubber mallet, 14 mil socket, brake pads, lube, light, and you might need a paint can to rest the caliper on. But that's it, and this is kind of easier than the back actually. The steps are to take out these two pins. Just have to get a hammer and a screwdriver, knock those out, undo these two 14 mil nuts on the bottom, take off the brake pad wear sensor, and just swap out the pads, put it back together. Just gonna get a screwdriver, or this is actually like a hex bit, but anything with kind of a flat edge, just to knock these out. And they should just pull straight out the back. Okay, once we got those out, we can undo the brake pad wear sensor. Just pulls off down here. Just like that. We want to undo the brake line grommet here. Now the 14 mil bolts here. I think it's a good idea to lube these before you take off the caliper, so that when you pull out the brake pads, you can just slide the other ones in real quick while you're still holding the caliper. Just gonna put a little bit on each one here. And I'm just going to put a thin layer across the whole back here. And then also on the sides to make them slide in a little bit easier. Just a little bit here. Okay. Now you should be able to do this just with holding the caliper and then sliding the new ones in. I have this paint can here in case we need to rest it down. Never hang it from the brake line. So we're going to finish taking off these 14s. Now the caliper needs to come straight off, and if it's not going anywhere, get your rubber mallet, tap it a little bit, make sure it's coming straight off. So we got it off. Now we're just going to pull these out. They come right out just that easy. Put it back in the same way you took it out, and put just a little bit of lube where that pad goes in. Try to put that pad back in just how it came out. Take this one out too. For whatever reason, it's a little bit harder to get this front side in, but it wasn't too bad as you saw. So now we're just going to put the caliper right back on. Okay. We can go ahead and tighten these down. Again, I don't know the torque spec. Good and tight. This is probably the hardest part of the job, is getting these pins back in to line up. I'll show you on the old brake pads. So this is how it's sitting in there right now. We need this pin to go through the back part of the caliper, through both brake pads, like this, and then come back out this way, through this hole here. I'm gonna lube this pin up just a little bit. Try to show you some tricks as I go along here. Just gonna come through this way. Put it back. And we can see that the brake pad needs to go this way a little bit to line up. Now it's really hard to pull on these and you can't really do much. So the best way I figured out, get a long screwdriver, put it back behind the rotor and push the caliper that way. Okay, well I knocked my light off, but I got it in. The front brake pad's a lot easier because you can just push it from this side here with your screwdriver. Okay, and once it's lined up, get your hammer, tap it from the back. That part's done. Bottom one usually goes a little bit easier because that top one helped line it up. Oh yeah, that one just lined up perfectly. That's it. Just plug in the brake pad sensor and put the, you see, the grommet back on. All right, make sure you get that brake pad sensor back in and that brake line back on its bracket. That's really it, guys. Don't let the dealer charge you $500 to do this job. This takes 10 minutes per side, maybe. Just, and only a couple tools, you can do it.